What is up, guys? impaKt here in the flesh. This time I won't be having any scripted guidelines for you guys. There are just a few changes that Riot has in store for us support players in the next patch. So I just decided to go for a little short video discussing my thoughts on these changes, and then I'll go for a proper video whenever the patch comes out, and actually running down the data and the information for you guys and comparing stats to both the old item stats and well, I'm just gonna compare the items to one another pretty much, but I can just give you a rundown of all the stuff that Riot has in store for us right now, and I can just share my thoughts. So if you're interested, stay tuned, or just keep around and stay tuned. Anyway, let's get started. So first of all, boots of lucidity. So bear in mind that these changes aren't final, so that's pretty much why I'm not going for a full-fledged video right now, because this is probably due to change, or yeah, this is probably going to change at some point, so what the heck. But still, boots of lucidity's cooldown reduction was reduced to 10% from 15%, even though the gold was reduced by 200 gold. So, overall, it wouldn't be that bad because cheaper items are actually good for supports. The thing is, a lot of supports go for 5% cooldown reduction on their masteries, right? The thing is, if you don't have these boots to just help you get to that 40% cap, you're gonna either go over it or just not get to 40%. It's an odd number for an item to have, 15%, because all other items that have cooldown reduction have either 10% or 20%. So it is an odd item, but it helps a lot of supports and then a lot of other players just itemize better. It helps the player just get to that 40% cap without going over it pretty much, and by reducing the cooldown reduction to 10%, that's gonna be over pretty much, even though the gold cost is gonna go down. So I have mixed feelings about this, to be honest. It's not going to be too bad, it's not going to be too game-changing, but it's still, I don't think, like, I think the total gold costs could be reduced by a little bit, and just maintain the 15% cooldown reduction, to be honest, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. I have mixed feelings about this, but yeah. Boots of mobility, and here's the kind of one of the suckiest parts, and it's not that sucky for support players, but it's a lot suckier for junglers. So the base movement speed was reduced by 20, even though the enhanced movement speed is going to be the same, and the total gold cost is going to be reduced by 200 gold. So gold cost reduction, awesome. However, by reducing the base movement speed by 20 points, what's going to happen is when you're in combat, your movement speed is going to be pretty much the same as if you had level 1 boots, which kind of sucks, right? Now, it doesn't affect supports that much because, well, you want to go for boots of mobility if you want to roam, if you're playing a roamer style of support. So you're going to be in pretty much going through lanes or through the jungle without engaging or getting engaged on, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, except every once in a while. But this may suck, especially for junglers, because if you think about it, a jungler may get boots of mobility to increase his ganking potential. The thing is, he does have to go in, he does have to stay in combat in the jungle because he needs to farm camp. So what this is gonna do is it's going to reduce the amount of, actually increase the amount of times that it'll take the jungler to move from one camp to another, into another, into another. So what's going to happen in the long run is a jungler's clear speed may stay the same. Like, you may kill the minions or the monsters in some amount of time, but the clear speed itself is going to be increased because it'll take a lot longer for the jungler to just move around camps. So that kind of sucks, to be honest. I don't think 25 movement speed is just way too low, to be honest. I kind of agree on a little bit of reduction on the base movement speed, but 20 points just seems too much, to be honest with you guys. So overall, I think you'll still be able to build boots of mobility rather fast. The gold cost is going to help you out, but the junglers may need to take another look at the boots of mobility and think for themselves if the item is worth getting or not at this point, pretty much. But yeah, let's move on. Gold item changes, and these are pretty much the biggest thing in the bottom line, because usually people would just get the ancient coin at level 1 if they're playing a passive lane. If they're not, they go for the Endurance Ring of Endurance Shield and then upgrade to ancient coin, because Talisman is pretty much the item that gives more team utility of all 3. That's going to change a little bit. Well, unless you're playing Leon, in which case you can start with the Relic Shield, go for Targon's Brace, and then switch to the Talisman when the beginning of the late game sets in. But yeah, let's just go through the changes pretty much. So, HP regen down the drain. The Ancient Coin no longer has HP regen per 5, right? So now, in addition to gaining 2 gold every time a nearby enemy minion dies, you'll heal for 5 health. Now, that's a minion that you did not kill, so that's pretty much just to make sure other lanes don't abuse this item. But if you're playing support, this is whatever, what the hell am I saying? Anyway, in addition to 2 gold, you now heal for 5 health. Now, if you think about it, you'll have more HP regen while the lane is there. However, if the lane isn't there, you have a lot less HP regen than you did with the old Ancient Coin, pretty much. So that's the main thing. What I do think about this is that going for Ancient Coin now kind of makes you want to extend the laning phase further. But I'll get to that after I go through the Talisman of Ascension. So Nomad's Medallion. Mana regen per 5 has been reduced by 1, so it's not that big of a deal. And the HP regen was reduced by 5. Now, the gold per 10 just stays pretty much the same. Now, Favor, in addition to the 4 gold, now heals you for 5 health whether a nearby enemy minion that you did not kill dies. So pretty much the same thing, right? Every time a minion that you did not kill dies, you get 5 HP. Then Talisman of Ascension, and the Favor passive stays the same, once again, and Coin General game is, oh, that's the notes, never mind. But anyway, the status have remained unchanged, so you'll still have that movement speed increase and whatnot. So the thing about this is that you'll want to extend the laning phase further. If you're predicting that the laning phase will last a lot longer than usual, or it's going to be a longer laning phase than most, then you probably want to go for Ancient Coin. Now, the reason why I say this is because you won't have the HP regen with Ancient Coin, and you won't have as much HP regen with Nomad's Medallion either. So the thing is, you want to stay near your minions in order to get HP regen. If you do, it's probably gonna be somewhat around. It's gonna be somewhat of the same, pretty much. Almost the same. But if you leave the lane, if you start roaming, then you'll have an item there that's pretty much useless because, well, you really need to stay close to minions to get gold, to get HP regen. Don't really know what I feel about this. I think the coin was in a really nice spot. The problem with the rest of the items was that there were too damn sucky, to be honest. So that was the problem. There was no problem with the coin or the talisman or the medallion, whatever. I do think this is, I don't know, I don't feel like this is that justified, but I guess Red felt like they should do this, so sure. Once again, it's not that big of a deal. It's just gonna make it so that if you want your HP regen to stay up to par, and if you want to keep your gold income flowing, you need to stay in lane pretty much, or just roam but then stay in lane for longer periods of time. You can't really go for that fast-paced pushing strategy that a lot of people go for, especially in like Korean solo queue. So I'm guessing that if you're a Korean and you're listening to this, then probably you'll see a lot less ancient coins in your solo queue games. But anyway, let's move on to Spell Thief's Edge. Now, I had mixed feelings about this as well, but this is actually growing on me. So the Spell Thief's Edge AP at level 1, or rather, yeah, Spell Thief's Edge AP down the drain, no longer gives you AP. It gives the mana regen and GP10 stats remain the same. Now, Tribute passive has been changed. So your spells and attacks deal 10 additional damage to champions and towers and generate 4 gold. So you now get pretty much compensated for fast push strategy. So this is actually what I'm really fond of the about this. Like I'm really fond of the comparison between Spell Thief's Edge and Ancient Coin right now, because if you're expecting a slow pace laning phase, then you probably should go for Ancient Coin. However, if you want to have that fast-paced strategy, then Spell Thief's Edge is going to help you out, because it's going to help you deal more damage to champions and towers, and it's going to generate gold every single time you hit a tower, right? It's going to happen 3 times every 30 seconds. Actually, it can happen up to 3 times every 30 seconds. So you can't really spam it. But still, if you think about it, 3 times every 30 seconds is not that bad. Tribute is disabled for 12 seconds if you kill a minion, so don't steal creeps from your AD carries, guys. So, Frostfang. Ability power, still down the drain, right? Mana regen is unchanged, and GP10 is unchanged as well. Now, your spells and attacks will deal 15 additional damage to champions and towers and generate 8 gold. So you have this sense of scaling going on the items, right? And it can still happen up to 3 times every 30 seconds. I do agree that with a few people that I've discussed this with, that this should also scale up instead of just damage that you deal. I feel like it would be a welcome addition to the to this item change. But overall, I feel like the Frostfang and Spell Thief's Edge are a lot better for this now. You don't have the AP early on, so you can't really abuse that early game poking power. But still, I do feel like the additional damage on champions and towers is going to make up for it. Tribute is once again disabled if you kill a minion. Disabled for 12 seconds. There is. So, Frost Queen's Claim, also pretty big change. Recipe has changed, yada yada yada, but the gold is 2k, pretty much the total cost. Now, the 50 AP was reduced to 40. Kind of sucks. Still, from 0% cooldown reduction, you now get 10% cooldown reduction. So if you went for Talisman because it also gave you cooldown reduction, now Frost Queen's Claim is going to give you some cooldown reduction as well. So once again, it's more comparable to the Talisman. You can go for Talisman for increased movement speed and cooldown reduction, and now you can go for the Frost Queen's Claim for a cooldown reduction, a little bit more damage, and you can use it for a more fast-paced strategy. And you can also use the new passive, which is a rework of the old one. Getting to that just now. So mana regen and GP10 unchanged, and then you have the Tribute. Once again, deals 15 additional damages like the Frostfang. The Tribute is not disabled if you kill a minion with this upgrade. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a lot of, or some people give this a try, just rushing Frost Queen's Claim, just to get that extra GP10 cooldown reduction ability power, and dealing more damage to champions and towers and generate 8 gold every time you do. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if you saw mid laners rush this item. It's not worth it if you go just for the Spell Thief's Edge or Frostfang, but if you upgrade this to Frost Queen's Claim, it may be worth it, because the Tribute is not disabled if you kill a minion. Alright, as for the active, so now you the target is actually free, meaning you can actually just click it on the ground and the effect will pretty much place itself down, right? You don't actually need to click on an enemy, which is actually pretty cool. And the cast range was actually increased by 250, and this is huge. Because if you think about it, like Morgan has like 475 range, if I'm not mistaken, but the standard range for ranged champions is pretty much around 600. Meaning, if you wanted to use the item on them, then you were making yourself susceptible to getting aggressed on, right? You getting damaged. So that was kind of risky. But now with this cast range increase, you can now cast it from a much safer place, from a much safer range. Area of effect size was actually decreased, which is not that bad because it was actually a pretty big range. So I feel like, oh, and magic damage increased to 50 plus 10 per champion level. So once again, you have this sense of scaling in these items. You can just invest as a support. You can invest in these items, and you can rest assured that they'll help you scale up toward the late game. They won't just give you those base stats and make you buy some more items. If you invest in these items, then you're making sure that you'll keep scaling, even though you may be spending your money on Sightstone or upgraded trinket or something like that. It now applies an 80% slow that decays over 3 seconds from a flat 50 over 2 seconds. And this is actually pretty nice. 80% slow is incredible. But I guess we need to see this in the live servers to actually get a better sense of how this is going to work. Now, once again, slow-paced strategy, Ancient Coin and Talisman. Fast-paced strategy, Spell Thief's Edge and Frost Queen's Claim. I don't know, like, I feel like the increased movement speed just helps it seem way too much. Right? So I feel like the Talisman is probably going to be the standard item to get in competitive play. But I think this could be worth picking up, to be honest. Especially because of the additional damage to champions and towers. So I'm guessing we'll have to stay tuned and see. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Frost Queen's Claim picked up a lot more often, both in solo and competitive play. Okay, Targans, finally. So the Relic Shield was also changed. It now has more base HP, kind of to go against Doran Shield, right? And then you have no HP regen on the Relic Shield. However, every time you kill a unit, you heal yourself and your ally for 40 health. It grants gold equal to the kill to your ally, but does not grant the additional +5 as on live. 2 max charges, 60-second cooldown unchanged. So you go for Relic Shield, and it's not gonna be giving that additional gold to your AD carry, but it is gonna multiply the gold of one single minion by the two of you, or for the two of you. Now this heal is actually, I can't say for sure without actually getting a feel of how this is gonna work, but I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing like 2 people going Relic Shield just for that incredible amount of sustained bottom lane. But I have to see and actually get a sense of how this is going to work for myself. But this is actually pretty decent change, because you can't just spam these last hits, right? 2 max charges with a 60-second cooldown. So that's pretty much 80 HP for 1 minute. I'm gonna do all of the math and actually create a new video for you guys pretty damn soon, as these changes are final. But yeah, for now, that's pretty much what I can tell you. Targan's Brace HP was unchanged, and the HP regen was reduced by a slight bit, but still, there is some HP regen there, which I actually like. It helps you with your trades during the bottom line. And it's gonna heal yourself and your ally for 50 HP instead of 40, like in Relic Shield. Grants gold equal to the kill to your ally, but does not grant the additional +5 as on live. 3 max charges, 30-second unchanged. So Targan's Brace may be worth rushing, not because of that extra gold on your carry, but because it's gonna help you out a lot with sustain now. It's going to help you with those extra 50 HP on yourself and your ally every like 3 times every 30 seconds. So that's huge. Then Face of the Mountain. Total gold cost is 2k. Heals your ally and yourself for 50 plus 1% of your max HP upon killing a unit. So once again, you have this sense of scaling, right? So you can even go for this if you have if you're building HP, you can go for this and just kill units for a lot of regen. Grants gold equal to the kill to your ally, but does not grant the additional +5 as on live. 4 max charges, 30-second cooldown unchanged. No longer costs health to activate, and the damage now scales based off 150% of the target's total attack damage. So now the focus isn't just to use this on whoever goes in. It's to pretty much I do feel like Riot's trying to make it so that you use this on your carries or on your melee assassins or whatever, because the damage that it's gonna deal when it blows up, it's gonna now scale off the target's attack damage. So if you think about it, a Zed will probably build, or a Riven will probably build more AD than an AD carry per se, because they won't have to worry about crit chance, attack speed, and stuff like that. And they'll have more AD, so the shield's damage is going to be the shield burst is going to deal a lot more damage, pretty much. But it's a pretty cool change. I don't feel like this item in itself is going to be picked up that often, both in solo queue and competitive play, just because the amount of team utility that it gives you is not up to par to the claim and the talisman, pretty much. But yeah, let's get to the ruby crystal. Gold cost reduction, so it costs less 75 gold now. It also gives you, the HP was reduced to 150 from 180, but I do feel like this is a welcome change, to be honest. Like, it is kind of an expensive item to get as a support in the beginning, in the early stages of the game, and this will actually help you out. And the amount of health that you get with it is still pretty damn decent, so I actually like this change a lot. It actually makes it a lot easier to just go back on and get a ruby crystal on your first bag, even though you might be level 3. So if you let's just imagine the following scenario: you're playing against a Leona as Sona or Nami or whatever, and she jumps on you level 3 and she bursts you down, so you need to go back. Now at this point you should probably get wards, potions, whatever, but that's not going to help you withstand the burst of Leona. Now at that point of the game, you're pretty much screwed because you don't have a lot of cash. Now this change might help you with that, because by the time you go back, if that kind of scenario happens, you probably be able to afford the ruby crystal, in which case you'll be able to withstand Leona's burst and her AD carries a lot better. So this is really a welcome change. I really like this. And then the sidestone, the total cost was reduced as well. Like the HP was reduced, just like the ruby crystal, so 150 health. But still, it's a lot less gold now. So you can get the sightstone a lot earlier, which is actually pretty good, because you can get your you can start getting map coverage a lot sooner. So I really like these changes. And then you have the Doran Shield, which is pretty much the last change here. The HP was reduced, which I completely agree with, because Doran Shield is way too strong right now. And then you have the HP regen being cut in half. I do understand this. I don't agree with the 5 HP per 5, to be honest. Like, I feel like 7, 8 would be a good spot. 5 is just way too steep in my opinion. Like I probably 7 HP per 5 would be just fine, I think. But to be honest, yeah, like I feel like this is way too much of a nerf, and they do, yeah, suspect that the nerf to the HP regen is too harsh. But yeah, for now that's pretty much what we're working with. And yeah, these are pretty much the changes. I've been talking for 25 minutes almost. Holy crap, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I hope these changes help you guys out. And yeah, make sure to tune in every once in a while, because I'll be making a video of these changes when they actually go live. Actually, before they go live, whenever they get whenever they're final. So yeah, if you're looking for more information on the upcoming changes, make sure to tune in again. Subscribe to the channel if you still haven't done so. I also have a Twitter in case you want to follow me up on that, and Facebook as well. You can just PM me on Facebook and I'll be glad to answer back as soon as possible. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Sorry that this is a little bit different, just wanted to get this information out there, and hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.